Hi. Please, anyone of you confirm me that am I properly audible and visible?
Yeah, you are.
And you are also audible and visible. Fine.
Awesome.
So, hello, Di.
Hello,
Hi.
Saurav. Hello,
Hello, hi,
everyone.
Di. Hello, everyone. And first of all, let me welcome all of you to this wonderful evening. And there is a little bit of twist here. Actually, we have marketed the poster in such a way that interview is going to be taken by Shagnigda, right? But twist hai. Interview due to some unavoidable circumstances, he is not able to be with us, and I'll be taking the short interactive session with the, and I believe you will be enjoying this. And let me tell you the format of this session. First of all, I'll be asking some generous questions, some interesting questions too with the, and finally this session will be make open house, and you can take your own questions. You can ask your own questions, whatever your doubts regarding internships, ये वो ये जो पूछना है पूछ लेना, है ना? So without any further delay, let's get started. Let me give a short introduction of D. Then I would request D to give a brief introduction of her, so as we online students who never visited college can know who exactly our seniors are, right? So Swatilekha is final year computer science engineering student of our college, and we are really proud to know and announce that she has grabbed the highest package of our college from our college, and obviously off campus, and did a lot of some other fantastic stuffs too. And we'll also know that how exactly to make connections and what is the role of LinkedIn, कहाँ से job apply करना है, सब कुछ जानेंगे. So now I would request Dee to give her a brief introduction that who exactly our seniors are, and we should also get the opportunity to know this, right? So please go ahead, Dee.
Thank you, Saurav, for the glowing introduction. So, hello, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for joining today. I understand that it's a Monday evening, so I'm very grateful that you joined, and it's my pleasure to meet all of you. As Saurav already mentioned, it's been such a long while that since we have come back home from college. It was supposed to be a 2 weeks thing, but we are still here. And as for most of our juniors, they haven't yet had the chance to visit college, which is really sad, but hopefully we'll get to meet soon after COVID. So, a little about me is I think sort of covered most of the part about college, but apart from that, I started my coding journey through web development. Before that, I tried a bit of competitive programming, and but a little about me would be rather than just apart from doing coding and stuff, I enjoy doing a lot of other stuff, and I think something that I employ in whatever I do is a lot of passion, because I have an artistic side of myself which I not only inculcate through what I'm doing personally in my endeavors, such as I make short films. I used to do a bit of writing. It's been on a pause due to just like college stuff and a lot of things on my plate. But yeah, I used to do a lot of writing. I've written a few scripts for films that last year I wrote a script that will be it's not yet out, but it will be cast by director Sanjay Nag, who has won a Filmfare Award. So it was a long time. I have been doing creative stuff. I think I started back when I was 13, but the I have transitioned a lot, I think, during the past few years, because I started doing writing, and then I figured that I enjoy other stuff as well. So I started creating digital art, then I started like painting and stuff. So it's oh, I think I drifted a lot apart from my just from my introduction, but basically I think that summarizes me as a person. Whatever I do, I put a lot of passion into it. I enjoy connecting with people. I love reading, and I always look for insightful conversations, and of course like sessions such as these where I get to meet a lot of people. And as sort of already mentioned, I specified that I would rather have this as a QA session where you can directly ask me questions, rather than I prefer having it a two-way thing rather than me just going on and on blabbering about that. And yeah, I think sort of over to you.
Sure. So first of all, thank you very much for this brief introduction. Actually, we as juniors never knew that you had these means this kind of skills, and you were actually Dee was also the former in charge of Creative Pens, one of the clubs of our college, and then she left the in charge post, and now uh, she is with us. And again, we will be actually to start with, I'll be taking the session from the very beginning, that where exactly you got to know that, yeah, coding is something for me. Actually, it is very important to know that there is some coding or whatever core subjects, is it for you or not.
Right.
Actually, engineers have done engineering, but there is nothing, बोलते हैं ना, engineers engineering के अलावा सब कुछ कर लेते हैं. So many people are interested in doing management, some are interested in CAT, GMAT, some are interested in going abroad, some are not yet know that what exactly I should be doing. So where exactly you found the passion for coding exactly?
Great question, Saurav. So, what I figured along the way, something that you mentioned, I think, and of course, like engineers are capable of doing all kinds of stuff. So, I'm not sure if you all have been watching Shark Tank recently. So, most of the people who come there, they are like, past engineers, they're opening up, they're starting up. And right now, it's a very big opportunity for like people like us, youngsters, to start up and, do stuff that they are passionate about. So, that's how I found my passion with coding. So initially, if I'll be very honest, I started with data structures algorithms like everyone does in college. Yeah. And I I did it for maybe 3 to 4 months. I was okay with it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have liked. And so it was, a very a weird month of self-realization for me where I thought, okay, I'm not enjoying this. Does this mean that I'm not going to be, like it just felt like that because I saw a lot of people around me. They were doing competitive programming, they were doing DSA, they were actually very into it. And as I said, if I don't have a passion for something, I cannot enjoy it at all. So that is something about me. And I didn't find a lot of passion for competitive programming. Okay, so left coding for a month or so. So I was like,
Okay, which semester it was? It was in college or it was way back in school?
no, it wasn't way back. Oh my God, no. I started preparing in, I think, 2020 December, after we came back home from
Oh,
COVID. Yeah.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा,
Yeah.
got it.
Definitely not from school. Yeah.
हाँ तो सुन लो, फर्स्ट ईयर वालों, ऐसा नहीं है कि फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर से ही एकदम लग जाना है,
No,
ऐसा
no,
कुछ
no.
नहीं है, ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ
First
नहीं है.
semester
प्लीज
तो
कैरी ऑन.
like enjoy करना है बस और कुछ नहीं.
बिल्कुल. क्या एंजॉय करें, हम लोग तो घर पे ही हैं,
हाँ, true.
पेरेंट्स की शक्ल तक एंजॉय कर रहे
Right.
हैं. ओके ओके, हाँ प्लीज कैरी ऑन. या
So exactly. So that's how I felt कि बहुत demotivated लगता था. So I thought कि okay, then I'm not enjoying this, and this is probably not for me. So software engineering isn't for me. But that is something that I figured out along the way. We don't get a lot of useful information from our immediate community, but that is okay because we are a new college, so it's understandable. But a very important place that helped me out was LinkedIn. So I used to like follow all these people, and I saw about their journey. I found this event, like that was how I started my like development journey. So there was this GGEC Winter of Code open source, which was, I think it was around December 2020, as I mentioned. So at that point, I was actually in Chennai. I was with my parents. So I like had a family thing. So after that, I found GGC Winter of Code. I learned what is Node.js, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. HTML, CSS, I had done it, I think, back in class 8 or 9, and it was basically just writing paragraphs and changing the background color to a very neon pink or something like that. So I had no clue about HTML, CSS, JavaScript. But then when I, to be honest, it took a lot of courage to join that because the people around me who were joining, they were like, they had probably started the development maybe months and months back. So I was like, people are just throwing out these buzzwords. What is Spring? What is Node.js? All that stuff. Okay, so I just made up my mind that I'll get at least one pull request merged. So that's how I thought that, okay, my success metric that I'll measure through this is I'll get one pull request merged. That will be okay for me. Then I'll feel that, okay, I've done something. But then I kept at it. I was very intent on, just being myself, learning new stuff, which I successfully did. And that's how I started my journey with development. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, that was the very base. And after I finished the event, I actually met a very nice online community there. I also found a couple of one of them are my juniors. I think she's from third year, so she's from DTU, and I met her. And she also had another person in her immediate network. So three of us girls, we decided that none of us had done a hackathon before. But then I was like, okay, let's give it a try. Okay, so that's how I joined the hackathon community. So that's how and after I started hacking, that was, I think, when I realized that, okay, I have a passion for coding. Because before that, I wasn't finding my true fit. And yeah, I think I can talk about hackathons a little bit more in detail. That was how my coding journey started. I think that was your question initially, sort of. So I hope I answered that, so you can like move forward. I can talk about
Yeah, yeah,
hackathons later.
yeah. Actually, this really sounds good. That you make your own short community who are really efficient people and help
Hmm.
each other grow. Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's really a great idea. And actually, in Corona pandemic, this is the only option we have. Right. We can't
Right.
blame our college or anyone because IITs are not even graduates at IIT, students at IIT are not even in IIT. Right. They have their own short community and they're helping each other grow, and that is really great. Okay, so actually, you developed the passion for coding while learning web development, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, I would like to know that can you compare the development part, which is more means in demand or which is more interesting at your level, obviously. That it's is it web development or Android development or do you are you really means gone through Android development also?
I initially started doing Android development. That was actually before I started web development, to be honest. But then I figured that my laptop wasn't like efficient enough to handle Android Studio. Not at all. It was a 4 GB RAM, a very basic thing. So it couldn't handle Android Studio. So I had to actually leave it. I could only successfully make the swipe screen, or and then I just stopped because Android development I couldn't do it. But again, have some interest in it, but I since I couldn't do it at that point, but I'm actually curious to try it this year as one of my goals, Android development. But you also asked about in-demand skills, so that is something that's a very subjective question. I think for me, I think it's more important to find your own niche. So, for instance, I didn't enjoy competitive programming, right? But I know a lot of amazing people with like very amazing backgrounds who have a lot of knowledge and they are very into competitive programming. So I'm not saying something is better than the other because I'll never do that, because you have to find what you enjoy and just stick at it no matter what other people say, no matter what you see, because that is something I faced. I used to like self criticize all the time because I wasn't enjoying it, but then you can't force what you enjoy, right? And of course, like data structures algorithms, they are very important because otherwise once you other if you don't have good knowledge of that, like the basic knowledge of that, you'll be facing issues in your development journey as well. So the way I saw it is I started developing because that is something I enjoyed. And then whenever I was facing issues, whenever I thought that, okay, so for instance, like if I'm making an API request, right, and I'm getting the JSON response, so you have to navigate inside the, like for instance, there's an key and value with an array, right? So if it's an array and you want to navigate, so you basically have to know how to navigate the array inside, right, inside the JSON. So that's how. And I at the moment I required for each, so I researched what for each is, how it works, and then just like I did that. So that is what I usually, I would also recommend, find what you enjoy and then learn whatever is required along the way. So yeah.
Okay, so one need to take time and need to understand what exactly suits them, and
Right.
not to mention data structure and an algorithm is super important wherever
Right.
you go, right?
Hmm.
It is
Exactly.
not going to leave your neck. Okay, fine. So actually, okay, can you just tell me that how long is this whole journey? Means from starting that how exactly to learning a language, C, C++, Java, then web development, Android or blockchain, whatever it is. So how long is this journey from doing being a noob to being a mediocre pro? I won't say pro, mediocre pro. So as you can grab a good placement or whatever you in software field में आप अगर कुछ बढ़िया करना चाहते हैं तो कितना वक्त लगता है मीन्स टोटल ड्यूरेशन क्या लगता है मेनी ऑफ देम वुड लाइक टू नो क्योंकि क्या होता है ना कि अनलाइक जैसे कि मैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से हूँ मुझे हो सकता है कोर की पढ़ाई भी करनी पड़ रही हो बट इफ कोई सीएस में इंटरेस्टेड है तो ऑब्वियसली उसके पास ये ऑप्शन नहीं है कि वो कोर की पढ़ाई को एकदम छोड़ करके सीएस की पढ़ाई करे राइट दैट इज नॉट एन ऑप्शन सो वन नीड टू नो दैट कितना वक्त लगता है मैं कैसे उसको सेग्रीगेट करूं कैसे प्लान आउट करूं कि मैं अपने कोर के साथ साथ कंप्यूटर साइंस को भी पढ़ करके एक रेस्पेक्टेबल एक जॉब पे एक या रेस्पेक्टेबल प्लेसमेंट पे कैसे लैंड करूं सो हाउ लॉन्ग इज दिस होल जर्नी या
Sure. Great question. Sort of, again, another subjective question. What I would love to say is, it's never too late to start. Okay, I have seen people who started like in their seventh semester, like not in my college but from other colleges. I saw them starting from seventh semester, and they still managed to get very good job offers by the end of the eighth semester. Okay, so it's like, as for learning a language, if you have very basic knowledge about one particular language, then it's not going to take you more than a week to learn a new language, because most of the stuff, it's the syntax, it's different, but most of the stuff, it's like fundamentally similar in all languages. And if you are just starting out, if you do not have any coding experience, even then it's not that difficult. I would say, I mean, maybe like 3 weeks or something should be enough to get started with the coding journey. So there are like amazing places online, like HackerRank, Hacker Earth, and all that stuff. So you can just do your research, or you can also, I'll also drop my LinkedIn ID at the end of the session, so that you can also reach out to me personally if you like. So that is also like okay. And yeah, I mean, the only thing I would like to focus is never think that I have wasted so much time. This is like too late for me to start, because eventually we all get somewhere we actually enjoy it, right? Even if you are not starting out well, that's totally okay. You can just keep working, keep trying, and you'll get somewhere that you actually desire to be, and you think that you deserve this. So it's never too late to start. That is what I would say. And as for my personal journey, as I said, I started back in December 2020. And so it's and me there were like lots of breaks in between here and there, because I had a lot of family issues going on, so I also had to take care of that. So I also like left coding entirely for maybe 3 to 4 months, this like 2021, around April to August. So there are always these, right? Because you can never foresee what kind of situations you are going to land in. So I would suggest start as soon as you can, because you never know what life what kind of boomers life throws at you. So just again, and also I would encourage you to try nevertheless, no matter how you think, no matter how late it is, because it's never late. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. It's never late. And when you mentioned that there are some people who are able to manage placements in their seventh semester, believe me, I was getting goosebumps. Okay.
No, they
And
can, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Actually, the matter is, it totally depends on the college. I see videos of some YouTube stars who are actually educationalists, but they are telling that I manage my placement in last 4 months, 5 months. But they were from DTU, they were from NSIT, right?
Right.
They have offers. They have been offered placements in a plate, and they can take any. They have options, right? But we are the strugglers, because in our college placements scenario is not that good, and we need to manage everything, right? So
Right.
yeah. So what about see actually I see that many friends of mine are just worried about some cool and geek stuff, or sound buzz looking sounds, the technologies like machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence, blockchain. So what would you like to comment, and what would you like to suggest them? Means yeah, what would you like to suggest them?
Sure. Another great question. So, like NFTs, metaverse, they are all the buzzwords around an industry right now, right? But again, a lot of people have biased opinions about this. And I would like to say that, again, find what you enjoy. So, if you think that you enjoy machine learning, there are like amazing offers that can be awaiting you. So, there are, not sure if you have heard about like Samsung Prism Research. They have this opportunity where they hire only machine learning interns. There is like, wait, I don't have a lot of things like rolling around in my mind, but I can definitely share if someone reaches out to me on LinkedIn. So there are like amazing opportunities for them as well. And you mentioned blockchain. So right now, like Polygon, Tezos, they are like hiring like crazy. Okay, because NFTs, they are, and blockchain, they are very much in demand skills in industry. But I would say like don't just join that just because you hear the hype and you think that this is something that's cool. If you genuinely enjoy it, metaverse is amazing. So it's bringing out so many of the new innovations, especially after COVID. So everything is changing, right? So like technology is at a very good place right now, and it's a very good time to be a software engineer. So again, I'd like to reiterate that do what you enjoy. It's like nothing is bad, nothing is good. It's all about what you want to do and what you think you are enjoying in the moment. Yeah. And you're always free to change what you enjoy like down the line, because that is something that happened with we as well. You just keep changing down the line, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. So, can you just recommend us some sources? Because see,
Hmm.
there are sources. There
Great
are
question.
plenty lot of sources, and
Right.
actually we are confused that what exactly to follow. We are
Awesome. Yeah.
super confused.
Sure.
YouTube is flooded with knowledge. Udemy is flooded with knowledge. Coursera is flooded, and we are
Hmm.
also being given mark points. So we think that yes, this is my opportunity, man. I need to get this mark point and get knowledge too. मतलब चार पांच चीजें लोग एक साथ करना चाह रहे हैं. So what is your recommendation about the selection of the source? How exactly to select that ये मैं ये पढ़ूंगा 3 महीने तक पढ़ूंगा 3 महीने के बाद मैं और इसे नहीं पढ़ने वाला मैं इसे नहीं पढ़ने वाला मैं 2-3 बार रिपीट नहीं करूंगा. So what are the best kind of sources you recommend to these guys? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Guys and girls. So I would recommend, YouTube. Again, as you said, YouTube is a good place, but it sometimes has a lot of false information. So I would suggest be very discretion, like use a discretion when you are going for a particular channel. Where I learned a lot of stuff is like there is Traverse Media. So as I mentioned, I do a lot of the web development. So for web development, Traverse Media, then Web Dev Simplified, and then there's this other one, the Clever Programmer. The Clever Programmer is something that you will enjoy maybe farther down the line. I think get started with Web Dev Simplified. And okay, let me type these in chat. Yeah, so Web Dev Simplified and
So are these YouTube channels?
yeah, these are YouTube channels, exactly.
Okay, fine, fine.
Diversity Media and
हेलो सुदीप हेलो. हाँ सुदीप थोड़ा सा ये दीदी का जो चैट बॉक्स है ना इसको भी थोड़ा सा लाइव स्ट्रीम कर दो सो दैट जो लोग लाइव पे देखेंगे उन लोगों को भी दिख जाए. ओके ओके फाइन. या
thank you, Sudeep. Yeah. So these resources helped me a lot. And actually, the very first course that I took was a free one on Coursera. It's called Web Design Specialization. I'll also type that. Web design for everybody. Yeah. It's a very basic level course. So I would recommend anyone who is just starting out with. Give me a moment.
टेक योर टाइम.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right. Yeah.
Absolutely fine. Yeah.
Specialization. And this is for. I might be getting some of my spellings wrong, by the way.
And that's
It's just
absolutely manageable, not an issue. Yeah.
Coursera. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people also enjoy Udemy. I have never personally taken an Udemy course, but I've heard that it's good. So again, go for what sticks to you. There are like lots of amazing resources online, and this is basically for like learning your skills. Coursera is good, YouTube is good, some of the YouTube channels are good, and apart from that, I think there are also some sites like egghead.io. These are some of the unpopular ones that I haven't tried, but I have heard a lot of people recommend that. And find something that sticks for you. And if you are asking also about how to look for sources where you can come across the right kind of opportunities, so like internships, job offers, all that stuff, there are like plenty of off campus hiring opportunities, at least in this year and the past 2 years. So a good place to look for that is again LinkedIn is the best resource, I would say. Just use that free resource as much as you can while you're a student. That helped me a lot. I've had recruiters from Google, Amazon, what is that other big company? Google, Amazon, and wait.
Microsoft.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, yeah, Microsoft. Oh God, this is embarrassing. Yeah, so I, I basically had recruiters from Google and Amazon reach out to me on LinkedIn just because of my LinkedIn profile. So that's how if you have a good profile, because nowadays it's all about who you know rather than what you know, because that is something I've noticed at least in my journey, because I used to think that okay, why am I not getting selected anywhere? I saw a lot of people around me who were getting selected, maybe with the same level of skill sets like me, but then I eventually figured out that how important a role LinkedIn plays. And I would suggest I open LinkedIn maybe again around maybe January or February 2021. So yeah, someone was saying something.
Someone want to say something? Hello.
You can go ahead
Okay.
and unmute yourself and say, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
you can
just
carry on. Yeah.
yeah, sure. And also like feel free to interrupt me anytime if you have further doubts on what I'm saying. So I'm like happy to answer. Anyway, so LinkedIn is good for like looking out for resources, and also there are some other sites that are wait, I think it's angel.co. I'm not sure about the domain, but I think it's angel.co, and there's another called Canvas Jobs. But these two are right now. I can't think of anything else. But again, I can later on share on LinkedIn. And these are some very good sites where you can look out for good opportunities, especially if you are going for international offers. So they have lots of remote hiring for like full-time remote jobs, and like remote interns, and they have very good stipends as well. So Canvas, angel.co, they are kind of unpopular sites. I didn't get the scope to use them because I mean, I came to know about that those like pretty late into my journey, but otherwise they are like very good resources where you can like apply for internships, and they have relatively fewer applications than LinkedIn Jobs because they're like everyone knows about LinkedIn, so a lot of people apply. But these sites, they can help you stand out, and also like feel free to follow up with people. Feel free to just be desperate and reach out to people on LinkedIn. 'Cause trust me, nobody minds everyone. And something I've also like figured out along the journey is like everyone is an inherently good person. It's not like they don't want to help or something. So even if you're getting snubbed on LinkedIn, that is something I have faced. I've gotten snubbed several times, but I always like kept intent. So just feel free to follow up, because people are busy, and they just might just might have it in their mind that okay, I have to reply, but maybe it just slips their mind because they have like 1,001 things to worry about. So feel free to follow up, nobody minds. And just like of course, I mean, don't follow up 15 times, that just seems a little crude. But feel free to follow up maybe twice or thrice, and if it's a recruiter, like definitely feel free to follow up 7 times, because they are probably receiving 20 to 30 mails from in mails from students like us a day. So again, just there is nothing egoistic about this. Just feel free to reach out to people, they are more than happy to help. And yeah, I think these are some like resources that I personally used in my journey.
Yeah, yeah. So this was really great to know this. Most of us here are from first, third, fifth, seventh semesters, and we are getting these kind of knowledge from someone who has already faced, who has been your boots, right? So it's really great.
Right.
So my next question was about connections only. So the matter is, how exactly do you connect to the recruiter or the someone who is giving you internships or someone who is really going to be helpful in your journey, right? See, everybody cannot be at same skill level, but really we can know people better and get and compare the amount of opportunities they are giving, right? So we
Right.
need to apply to the best location. That is the point. So how exactly do you recommend student like us who are having social LinkedIn profile? Means I never uploaded anything on LinkedIn, it's like an Instagram, whatever.
That's
Okay,
okay.
so what exactly, how, which kind of professional post do you recommend us to upload? Means actually, let me tell you about myself. I have a great passion for management too. I love to talk to
Nice.
people. I love to talk to people. I love to manage people. I love to means get them into work. I work with them too. And one of my key skills is communication. So how exactly I showcase my skills? Or there are some people who are very good at Canva, who are very good at doing uh, graphic designing, who are very good at doing some blogging kind of stuff. So these are important stuffs, right? You can't
Very
survive in
much.
market without this. Yeah.
Right.
So how exactly do you recommend these guys? That how exactly do you publish your skill on LinkedIn and attract the recruiters? Yeah. What is the process? Yeah.
Okay, so a great place to start is building connections that you find are relevant to your interests. So, for instance, Saurav, you mentioned that you are interested in management, right? So, if you are looking for jobs that are specifically into management, so feel free to reach out to people, connect with them personally. There's this option, if I'm not sure, like if everyone has noticed, so personalized invite. That is something that I didn't know myself when I started out. So there's this place where you can send a personalized invite, and I think the character limit for that is around 200. So you have to send a very short note to this person that you're reaching out to. So if you take the time and effort to go through their profile, the person that you're connecting with, rather than just sending out maybe 200, oh no, I think 200 is a weekly limit for sending out LinkedIn connections. So you definitely cannot do that. But anyway, if you are just randomly sending out connections to people, especially at the starting point of your journey, when you don't have a initial number of followers. So I started out with maybe 3 or 4 connections, okay, when I was reaching out to people. So and I half the people didn't like accept the connection request. So I totally accept that. I So what stood out to me is when I personally connected to people with a personalized invite, and maybe some kind of research that I had done on them previously. So maybe some book they had published, something they had done, something significant they had done, maybe something, a common point between both of us. Because trust me, everyone loves to connect like personally, on a personal level, rather than just keeping it official or formal. So I would suggest find a common point between the person you're reaching out to and yourself, and try to include that in your personalized invite, and then send out the invitation. Like 90% of the chances that they will respond, because everyone loves to hear like good stuff about themselves, right? We are all humans. So I think that's a strategy that worked out for me. And as for like posting relevant content, so if you are interested in management, then you can post any of the recent management trends, or something, you if you saw someone starting up, you were inspired by that, right? So post about that, appreciate people. So that is a very important thing, that I thought, like that I hope I had known sooner, is that the more you like they take the time to give back to community, the more the community is going to give back to you. And it's not always going to be a very good experience, trust me. It's not like it's not always a two-way thing, but sometimes you are the one who's making the effort. Sometimes a person opposite to you might not be doing the same, but like that's all part of the journey, right? So don't let that demotivate you. And as for the kind of content that you want to post on LinkedIn, I see that a lot of posts as go viral. And I'm again not a very like what is a knowledgeable person to speak about this, because I don't have a lot of experience with marketing and stuff. So the kind of content that is right for LinkedIn, because there is no particular content that is right for LinkedIn. I've seen a lot of critics on LinkedIn who just I don't know, like criticize people left and right for posting about personal journeys and stuff. But on the other hand, there are people, I mean, I have seen an instance where someone posted about the personal journey, some of the family problems they were facing, and then someone just wrote, this post belongs on Facebook. Okay. And this kind of LinkedIn snob is like everywhere. And then that person, no, and he also wrote that, and this definitely doesn't belong on LinkedIn. And then I saw that LinkedIn personally, I mean, LinkedIn professional profile, they replied to that, and said that this definitely belongs on LinkedIn. And then that post had a very huge reach. So that is what I'm saying. It's nothing is wrong as soon as like use your own common sense and discretion. If you think that it belongs on a professional platform, even if it's something about your personal journey, because people always get motivated reading about personal journeys. I think I get motivated a lot reading about personal journeys, rather than just announcement posts, like I got selected so and so. So I mean, use your discretion. And I think there is no kind of wrong content as long as it follows the guidelines and it is something of value. So yeah. And if you have multiple interests like blogging and then marketing and all that stuff, it's a very good market right now. So feel free to follow your passions. But I personally, since I don't have a lot of experience in that, I won't comment a lot. But I think there are like very good freelancing platforms as well, so if you can check those out. So do your research. I think like Google is going to be your best friend.
Definitely. So, any one of you who are looking forward to join, any one of you looking forward to see your career in any of these fields, so go forward, join, connect to people, similar kind of people, make your own community, help out each other, and that's the key we have yet learned from this. Okay. So, anyways, so the next question is about internships.
Right.
See, we have a laptop with us, we have Google with us, we can learn coding, but who will give us the industry experience, right? So that is very, very
Right.
important. That is through internships. So how exactly do you reach and to be an intern at some location, or I will not do internship without money. That's a good,
Of course. Don't do
yeah.
internships for that. That's just plain exploitation. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So is it a good? obviously doesn't sound good, but what is your reply to them? And what else? And what are the skills needed for internship? Yeah, I know about market that only
Hmm.
knowing coding is not something going to help you. You need to face the interview. You need to convince them that yeah, I am the best person who can be an intern. Who I am most eligible person to be an intern. So what about communication skills over there? So
Oh
how
yeah.
about, yeah, how about reaching people? How about convincing them that yes, I am the best? So how would you recommend someone that apart from coding, what are the skills required to get an internship, and what are the most important coding skills that one need to get an urgent intern, be an urgent intern at some? Okay,
Right.
yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great question. So I did my first tech internship at a very small startup. So it had like maybe 5 to 6 team members. The way it happened to me is again, my LinkedIn came into play a lot during this time because I had someone reach out to me from their company as to whether I would be interested to, just do the internship. At that point, there is no particular skill level that is like right to join an internship. I would suggest that apply at the same time while you're learning. There is nothing like I'll learn up till this point, I'll have this much of knowledge before I have the confidence to apply. Don't do that. Just learn on the way and also like keep applying, because I think mostly they expect interns to be noobs. They only expect interns to have that kind of drive and passion and that kind of commitment, so that they feel like they can rely on you. And of course, I mean, communication skills, they are like way important, no matter whichever internship you are going for. Okay, just a minute. I think I'll need to drink some water, so sorry.
That absolutely fine. Take your time. Yeah. Okay, so this is to inform all the members that be prepared with your questions. Be prepared your own set of questions, because after 7:45 or so, we are going to make this session open house and we are going to take your questions. Okay. So it's not a two-way communication. It should be two-way communication. It's not me and the over here. Okay. Yeah. Take your time, Dee. Absolutely fine. No, no, there is absolutely no language barrier. In Pep Talks, we never have any language barrier. In whichever language you are comfortable in, you can ask. अगर तुम हिंदी में बात करना चाहते हो हिंदी कर लो, इंग्लिश बंगाली कुछ भी कर लो. बस दी को समझ में आना चाहिए. मुझे ये समझ में आ जाता है वो बहुत ही बढ़िया है ना? बस इतना ही है.
Okay, all right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for your patience and sorry
that is
about
absolutely
that.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I actually had like maybe 5 back-to-back meetings today morning, which wasn't supposed to happen. So they were unprecedented. So I've been talking a lot. And that's why
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
throat is closing up at some point.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
anyhow, I'll just,
That
yeah,
is
all right.
absolutely fine. Yeah.
Thank you. So as for internships, as I said, learn and apply at the same time. There is no particular skill level that recruiters are looking for. And of course, if it's a very good internship like Microsoft or any of the bigger companies, bigger startups like Zomato and all that stuff, not sure if Zomato hires interns, but there's a very good internship that I came across. I almost like got the offer and then got rejected after the final round. That was an SD internship in HackerRank. But then it was a very good experience for me because I got to interview directly with the co-founder and CTO of HackerRank. He's Hari, and I had a like really great conversation with him. So like feel free and prepare to get rejected a lot, because that's going to happen. Nevertheless, I got rejected for by I don't know, like maybe uh, 10 to 12 companies that I actually thought I had a shot at. Okay, and apart from that, there are like thousands of applications
After
and
giving
thousands.
interviews. After giving interviews.
Yeah, I mean, not no no. To be honest, not after giving interviews, but there were two of them that I actually thought I had a shot at. So like one was HackerRank, the other was this Emily's main fellowship. So there I gave like 3 4 interviews and then got rejected in the final round. Excuse me. Yeah. So I guess I'll need to drink water again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take your time, not an issue. Yeah, any one of you would like to comment on anything? Means any of your thoughts? We are good to listen that. So any one of you would like to comment or give us your views that how exactly, uh, what exactly the yeah yeah Harsh Burman. You want to say something? Okay, fine. So enough. Any thoughts from your end would be entertained, not an issue. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions from your end?
All right, I think I'm good to go again. Oh God, this is embarrassing. Anyway, yeah. So, what was I talking about again?
We were talking about internships.
Oh yeah,
That
thank
you
you.
got rejected after two, you got
Hmm.
rejected in 12 internships, then there was a very interesting
Oh,
story. Please
yeah,
continue.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so Emily's fellowship, that's also a very good program, and some of these internships they are even open to like first year and second year students. So feel free to apply as soon as you want. And again, a very good place to look for all of these is on LinkedIn. And yeah, I think there is no particular skill level that you need to be up to apply. Just apply on the side. I think that should work. Yeah, yeah, go ahead, Saurav. I think we can take some questions now.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there is a question from Mainak Malik. He's asking if I am from electronics and communication student, is it tough to get a software job, or is it manageable, or what should be his or her approach? His approach, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So there is like no stream barriers as soon as applying is concerned. Most of the companies they like if I'm going for good companies, they usually do not have any kind of requirements in terms of computer or non-computer like core branch streams. So the way I learned is mostly through online stuff, right? It wasn't. I mean, I hope none of our college professors have joined, but to be honest, what we learn in college, the curriculum, it doesn't help you a lot in your like normal industry life. If you're of course if you're going for gate and all that stuff, if you're going for higher studies, that's going to be a lot of help. But if you're just if your passion is like applying to jobs, and if you want to go and join a job as soon as you complete your btech, then I would suggest almost everyone is at a equal footing in terms of streams. So I would please don't get discouraged. There are like plenty of online resources that are very good, and use them. And I think the stream shouldn't be a barrier for you. And in case you need any personal help, you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll share my profile in the end. Hope that answers your question, Moinak.
Yeah. Actually, we will also be pasting these profile in description of this video. Actually, we
Of
are live
course, yeah.
streaming this video, and so that to get it for long term, we will also be giving your profile in description so that anyone, anytime, at any age, at at any semester can reach you out. Okay.
Of course,
and
yeah.
uh, and really, let me tell you that this is not a your branch is never going to be a barrier. Actually, I interviewed. I had a podcast with a guy. His name was Kaustav Sarkar, and he was graduate of NIT Durgapur, and
Right.
he was graduate in biotechnology. So if a biotech guy can go to Google, then obviously you're an electronics guy. You can definitely go to Google. And actually, his journey. Let me. Okay, I'll take your question. Actually, his journey was also inspiring. What he did was he had multiple backlogs in his college, and he never studied. He just said to me like this: "Who studies in college?"
Right.
Okay, so he was very chill guy, and finally he said that he got placed in TCS.
I
Uh,
see. Yeah.
you know that it's a service based company, and you'd never expect someone to go to TCS after being an NIT, right? So anyways, that's totally his call, and from there he joined Oracle, and he actually graduated from NIT in 2014, and he joined Google in 2019. So it was really inspiring journey
That's
from
amazing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what, it's, as I said, it's never too late to start. Even if it's after you have started off your initial career, that's also totally fine. So
yeah,
thanks
yeah,
for sharing that story, Saurabh.
yeah, yeah. Actually, he said me that when he was applying for jobs, uh, a week earlier, he learned C++. Okay, so मतलब कैसे कर लेते लोग पता नहीं. Okay, so next question is from Ratandeep. I know this guy. If I start my learning from free sources, so
Hmm.
I shall not have any certificate. So how can I show my skills? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Doesn't matter at all. Certificates literally don't count. I have maybe 20 certificates lying. I have never shown it to anyone, nor has anybody ever asked me to. If you can demonstrate your skills, which is through projects, if you think you know your skills, then the recruiter is definitely going to, poke you on that. So you have to prove that you know your skills through your actions, not your like paperwork. That doesn't matter anymore. So um, a good way to get started is making projects. So that's a very good way to show your skills. That's what I did personally, because I had as I said, so like hackathons, right? So my first hackathon, that was my very first project. So it took a lot of courage to apply, because it's just a like weekend thing. Hackathons, usually they take place during the weekend. So, and I once I got into that journey, it was like unstoppable. I literally enjoyed. I stayed up all night just to build projects. And that just, I didn't do that just for getting jobs, right? I did it because I enjoy it. And that was a like good representation of my skills, as I feel. So feel free to whatever language it is, whether it's like web development, whether it's like backend development, whether it's just plain CSS, not CSS, sorry, C++, Java. You can also learn their frameworks and build projects on that. So that's a good demonstration of your skills. Certificates literally do not count.
या और रतनदीप, मैं तो तुम्हें इतना बता दूं, हमारे कॉलेज में इतने बड़े बड़े कलाकार हैं, तुम उस सर्टिफिकेट दिखा दो, वैसा पैरेलल बना के तुम्हें दे देंगे. ठीक है, तो सर्टिफिकेट्स की जरूरत तुम्हें नहीं. ठीक है. बहुत बड़ा सीक्रेट खोल दिया मैंने, कोई बात नहीं. या सो लेट्स, आई बिलीव रतनदीप्स क्वेश्चन इज आंसर्ड. सो लेट्स गो टू Somodip's question. What about mechanical engineering? It is same. It is same
Same.
for electrical, mechanical, electronics, textile, and n number of engineering degrees you can think. It is
Yeah,
all.
you can not even be an engineer. So that's
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
there. Yeah.
That's also a trend. Actually, I'll tell you. From Unacademy, there is a platform named Relevel. If you are not an engineer, they don't. It doesn't matter. You give their exam. If you qualify that, they will actually give you. You will be offered a job within 15 days. So that's
Right.
fantastic. You need not be a engineering graduate as well. Yeah, Swarnadeep, please. Hello. Yes,
Yeah, go
Swarnadeep,
ahead.
you want to say something? Swarnadeep Mandal. Okay, fine, not here.
Sorry, by
Sharnadeepa.
mistake.
Hi, Sharnadeepa.
Hi,
Just
how are
Swarnadeep,
you?
yeah.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine also. Actually, sorry, by mistakenly my
Absolutely.
audio was
No
sorry.
worries.
Not an issue,
No
not an issue.
worries.
Yeah, fine. Okay, let's go to second next question. Uh, Adarsha Mandal has asked, is NPTEL courses better than any YouTube channel course?
Great question. I personally have never done an NPTEL course, so I don't think I'd be the best person to comment on that. But again, find whatever like you enjoy. That's what I've been saying all along. So find, if you think that you are liking an NPTEL course better than you are liking a YouTube channel, so feel free to go for that, or vice versa. So just I mean, use your own judgment and figure out like which one you think is better for you to learn your skills from. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, I can help you out with that. Actually, I have done multiple 2, 3 NPTEL courses, but from YouTube only. I have not got the certificate or not given the examination. Actually, NPTEL courses have more to do with academic. They have nothing to do with means your jobs, or they will never explain you those things. They will explain you the whole syllabus in brief way, but they will hardly explain you the application part, or you need to do that yourself, right? They are also not responsible for that. You need to do that yourself. But in YouTube channels or courses at Udemy or other courses, they they give you hands-on experience of industry, right? That what exactly happens, how exactly to do, means whatever you can think of, they offer you everything on by sharing their screen, not on blackboards. You can't learn computer science engineering on blackboard, right? So that's what. Anyways, so okay, so Aniket Sarkar, how much level of DSA is needed for internship as a web developer?
Okay, let me read that question.
Yeah,
As a web
it's
developer,
747.
okay,
Yeah.
great question. It depends on your internship. If it's for an SD role, and also like depends on the company. To be honest, I mean, if it's some of the startups, they usually hire based more on your development skills rather than your competitive coding skills. But if it's for a like fat company or one of the like top multi MNCs, they usually hire more based on CP. And as I said, so just don't practice or like focus on a particular skill based on what company you want to go for. Do what you like, and I think the job offers will follow. That shouldn't be a trouble. Yeah.
Exactly. So you must be acquired with the perfect skill, and job you will definitely get, not an issue. Okay. Asif Rahman, mechanical engineering. First year का बंदा है ये. What is the roadmap of learning coding? I mean, at first learned a language like C, C++, new language, etc. So what are the upcoming steps to do it? Okay. Yeah. Next
Okay,
question.
yeah, great question. So, Asif, only one language, I think that's like more than enough to learn your DSA skills in, if that's what you are referring to. So just stick to one particular language and like learn DSA with that. And if you like, I'm not really sure what I should understand by learning coding, but if it's just for like language, I think one like knowing one language, and then you that's basically transferable to other languages as well. You can take up other languages as you like. But apart from that, if you want to get into development after that, I would suggest like go for HTML, CSS, JavaScript. JavaScript is going to be like similar to Python if you have done that before. And yeah, I think that's how you get once you start doing HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you just like your feed will be filled with like buzzwords like node, and then view, all the stuff that I think you'll be able to figure the rest out yourself, like frameworks and all that stuff. Once you know the basics, that will just follow. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe the question is answered. Okay, again, Ratandeep, which skill help us to get a job? Development or competitive coding? Okay, already
Okay.
answered, but answer
Yeah.
it again. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Again, focus on what you enjoy, see which one you like most. But of course, if you are going for SDE roles, so software development, of course you'll need development skills, but otherwise but if you're just asking for hiring purposes, then I would say good startups like Zomato, HackerRank, they hire solely based on your development skills, like the CP and like DSS skills. They are very minimal. But if you are going for big MNCs like Fang and any of the other companies, they usually look for very sound DSS skills, especially like Google, like very sound DSS skills. Yeah,
Okay.
that is
So
competitive coding.
yeah, yeah, I believe the question is answered. Uh, Harsh Burman, does college matter initially, or is it individual talent, hard work only? तुमको सभी तो पता है individual talent, hard work. क्या
Yeah.
सुनना चाहते हो? Okay, you answer it. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I would say it does matter in a way, and it also doesn't matter in other ways. So I've met people from like so-called very good colleges, even from IIT Bombay. Okay, I actually only this like past weekend I had a hackathon where I hacked with students from Cambridge University. Okay, and Cambridge is like one of the best engineering, like I think it has one of the best just after MIT in terms of like engineering courses as well. But then I initially had this feeling that, oh my God, I'm just going to be so overshadowed. I was so scared to hack with them. But then I figured out that they are just like us, okay? They are also learning. So college doesn't going to like, I mean, college isn't going to give you that kind of a push that we are used to back in school, right? Ki teachers are saying, ki, array, study. This never happens in college. I mean, so I would say it's hard work and your own passion, but college matters in terms of, so it matters in terms of the opportunities it brings you, right? So we are at Tier 3 college. That's how we sometimes miss out on a lot of good hackathons. So there was this JP Morgan Code for Good hackathon that I actually qualified until the last interview. But then what happened is after that I got rejected because my college didn't qualify. So but these are very rare cases. So don't just take it into your mentality that due to your college you are not going to get a good job. That's not true. So as long as you're working hard, I think like there are plenty of off-campus hiring. At least for the past 6 months, I've seen so many good opportunities for like off-campus hiring. There are like Google Summer of Code, right? And recently they launched Summer of Bitcoin. These are like amazing opportunities where you get to meet a good community of online people, and they don't even have any kind of GPA requirements or like not even a college. But college matters in terms of the kind of placements that it can give you, right? So there are like obviously if you're from IIT Bombay, you'll have so many companies just flooding up right to your very doorstep just to hire you. We won't have that because we are a very new college, so we have to be realistic with our expectations. But that's not a bar at all for like from getting a good job. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think that
exactly.
answers your question,
Yeah,
Harsh.
yeah, yeah. Actually, he knew it already, but wanted to listen from you.
Ah, yeah, sure,
Okay.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. So next question is Shubham Mahata. Does 10-12 marks matter to get a job in MNC? Actually, this is a question सब लोग दिल में लेके बैठे, कोई पूछता नहीं है. ठीक है.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Please आप इसका आंसर कीजिए. Yeah. Means
uh,
there I'll explain it further. दो तीन तरह के लोग हैं. एक एकदम बर्बाद 60% से भी नीचे आए थे. ठीक है. कि दूसरे जिनके 60 से 80 के बीच में है, वो लोग कंफ्यूज है हम अच्छे हैं कि खराब है, और जो
mhm.
80 के ऊपर आए थे वो लोग तो अच्छे हैं. ठीक है. तो 60 से नीचे वालों का भी बता दीजिए, 60 से 80 वालों का भी बता दीजिए, 80 से ऊपर वालों को बता दीजिए, ऐसे.
अच्छा ठीक है.
हम्म.
So basically, it shouldn't. As long as you get a like some companies, they especially for like maybe colleges, tier 3 colleges, maybe sometimes they have a minimum requirement of I think maybe 65% for 10th and 12th. But as long as you qualify that, you are like good to go. I mean, my college grades weren't good either, so let me talk about that as well. I think I got 7 in all my semesters before like coming back home after COVID. So let's keep that silent. Anyway, so yeah, so my college grades weren't good. So it's not if that didn't bar me from getting a job. I don't think 10th or 12th marks, as long as you're qualifying. So even for college grades, I think they have a minimum qualification of 7. So as long as you get that, I don't think that's going to be a bar. If you can prove your skills, I mean, they are more than happy to hire you because that's what they need. They don't need your marks.
Yeah, they are also engineers, right? They
Right,
know
yeah.
how exactly you are getting marks. Yeah. So now next question from Srijita Mandal is MERN stack good enough for hackathons and internships as a web developer?
Great question,
Yeah.
Shrijita. And I would say MERN is probably the most common tech stack I've seen in hackathons. So if you are learning that, amazing. And I personally, I did a lot of like MEN and also like EJS as a template. I didn't learn React for a long time because I didn't like the lack of flexibility that React brought for me. So I was more confident building out like things on my own. But then again, unless you use a framework, it's going to make your life hell when you're transferring data to and from the server. So yeah, I mean, MERN is really good for hackathons. So get if you're getting started with that, awesome. And also for our web development skills as well. I think MERN is good to go, but in case someone is thinking about doing mean, that is also good. So yeah.
Okay. So next question from I believe Srijita's question is answered. If you want more elaboration or something, you can always open your just unmute yourself and just discuss with the further. Yeah, that's
Right.
all obviously an option for you. Okay, so next question for from Gargi Bandopadhyay. So she's asking, I have interest in cybersecurity, hacking stuff. How should I start my journey? Like which programming languages should I learn? And from which online platform? Can you suggest me some DI? So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So Gargi, another great question, and I'm really excited to see that you are interested in cybersecurity and hacking. Uh, but to be honest, I'm a complete noob in that field, so I won't comment a lot. But as for starting your programming journey, I don't think it should be anything like different from what we are doing, but it must have some like very specific languages or I don't know, like tech stack that you require for cybersecurity. But again, I'm not at all a good person to recommend for that. But what I'll suggest is I'll drop my LinkedIn at the end of the session. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I do have a couple of resources I think for cybersecurity. I don't have them handy. I can follow up with that later on. So in case anyone else also has those resource requirements, they can also reach out to me. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I believe Gargi's question is answered. And actually, about cybersecurity, I will say that a few weeks earlier we did I said na Kaustav Sarkar with Google, that Google guy, we did an
Right.
interview. He was also having some hands-on experience on cybersecurity. I will try to upload that video on our channel too. Okay, that podcast on our channel too, and you can go through that. That's almost 2.3 hour podcast. देख
Wow.
लो. ठीक है, देखते हैं. Okay, so the next question from Nikhil Barnaval. How do I introduce myself in interviews? Okay, so he has to ask something about interviews and all. That's also acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, Nikhil. But again, I think the best person to answer this question is you yourself, Nikhil, because I mean everyone has a different story. So make sure you give that personal touch whenever you're introducing yourself, like something I talked about earlier as well, right? So everyone loves to hear a story. Everyone loves making a personal connection. So if you are going for an interview, a tip that I would definitely have is usually for, I mean, 90% of the interviews, you know which interviewer is going to take your interview because you get a mail, right, where like so and so is going to interview. So take your time. Most, like at least 80% of the time, you'll find that the interviewer is already on LinkedIn. So feel free to just go, take that time to research them, okay? Because again, everyone loves to be flattered, everyone loves to listen to, good things about themselves. So make sure you do your research very well on the company that you're applying to, the role that you're applying for, because they just might catch you out because you're saying that I'm very interested in so and so, and and also I'm very interested in joining this role. But then maybe they ask you a very basic question about that and you just get caught out. And also, like, never lie during interviews. Good recruiters, they know very well how to catch you, and especially even through some recruiters nowadays, they even have very good knowledge of pedagogy, so they even can like predict whether you're lying just by looking at your body language, right? So never lie, be honest. I would suggest, as for introduction, it's just a very basic like talk about yourself, and also for your interview answers as well, follow the star format. Just like feel free to google that, I'll write it here. This is like very common. I think you'll get lots of good articles on this if you, yeah. And yeah, I think that should answer your question, Nikhil.
Yeah. Do some research yourself, and if you find if you want some more elaboration, you can always connect to the on LinkedIn. Yeah. So actually, if you sometimes what happens in interviews, no, I have also given multiple interviews. So if you connect with their in point of interest, then they show more interest in you. Okay.
Right.
So once I was giving interview for mm, some web was there. Uh,
That's all
Sentient
right.
Geeks, yeah, Sentient Geeks. I was giving interview for Sentient Geeks, and it was a job role for uh, means I need to sell websites, right? So what I did that I just typed interviewer name on LinkedIn. I just searched that, yeah, he's also interested in stoicism, and the whole interview we talked about stoicism. I love
Right.
Marcus Aurelius. I love his book. I did that. We did that. I'm following Marcus Aurelius since class 11th, and this that. And he talked very little about the core that what exactly I need to do, and some digital marketing stuff. There was hardly a 3-4 minutes interview, and all 20 22 minutes we talked about Marcus Aurelius. That was the topic of the interview, and I
Yeah,
was got
that's
yeah,
right.
it
That's
happens.
a very good point, Saurabh. Thanks for bringing
Yeah,
it up. I actually
yeah.
forgot to mention that. So yeah, I mean, as long as you make a personal connection with just not the interviewer, but also the company's goal, the company's mission, the job requirements, because also, sometimes introduce yourself. That question also means, rather than introducing yourself, you also have to sell yourself as to how you are the good. I mean, how you are the best fit for their role. So that is also important. And yeah, thank you so much for bringing up that very good point, Saurabh.
या सेल्स स्किल्स एवरीवेयर आपको अपने आप को बेचना ही पड़ेगा वहां पर एनीवेज
Right.
या सो एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस या दी प्लीज से अबाउट मेकिंग resume yeah
Okay.
okay let's before starting the I must tell you that go and visit these resume on her LinkedIn profile. I've said that, I've seen that, and that is fantastic. मींस ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है जो आपको वहां मिसिंग मिलेगा, सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है. and that was really fun. One of the best resumes I've ever seen. Yeah, please,
Uh,
do go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Saurav. Yeah, I mean, you can always go to my profile and check out my resume. But there is this website you can refer to. This is very good for especially for resumes. It's very important to target your resume to the particular job that you're applying for. I used to apply with the same resume for my content writing internships and also my tech internships because I didn't know any better. And then later on realized how stupid that really was. So, and then someone recommended me this website called Overleaf, where it's very easy to customize your resume, because otherwise initially I had another resume which was like a Word document, and there it was very difficult to just change around stuff and then save that and then download it as PDF. It was a very hectic process, and I was like, I used to get very bored doing that. So then I came across Overleaf. It's very easy to make edits to Overleaf, and I would suggest you can use any Overleaf or any of these like template softwares. They are also like ATS friendly. ATS is like application tracking system, which is like arguably used by some of the companies for their initial screening. So your resume, my first resume was this very fancy thing. Okay, I designed it myself. So like blue columns, all these designs, and then later on I understood that those were actually an inhibiting factor in terms of, because my text was getting parsed wrongly in ATS software. So then I was like, I had to go and switch over to this very boring format, which is currently on my profile. But it might be boring, but it's also has to be effective. That's the main thing, because unless you pass the initial screening rounds, which is sometimes done using ATS, and then there are some companies like HackerRank, they actually eye screen every resume they get, which is like big respect for that company. So if any of you, that's a very good internship. I would recommend, they have this 6 months internship, HackerRank, and that's a very good internship. Although I didn't get it, I would definitely recommend that all of you try, give it a try. And of course, HackerRank as a company, it's amazing. It has a great startup culture, and yeah. Anyway, so that's about making a resume. Make sure you customize it every time you're sending our application to different companies.
Yeah, that's really very very important. See, sometimes I know that many of the students over here might be doing some freelancing work or for some companies from different sources. So the resume you are applying over there, that I am a blogger, I write blogs, I write stories. Don't just भेज दिया उसको माइक्रोसॉफ्ट को, ऐसा माइक्रोसॉफ्ट रिप्लाई नहीं करेगा, ठीक है. So that is very very acceptable. Yeah. So the actually the main question was that what exactly should we be mentioning in that resume. I believe that was the main question, and that is uh, there are some old, very old and worst format that you are writing your address in that resume. That is absolutely not required. And secondly, there are some formats where you are posting your photos, there you are posting your job role you want to apply, and that is present on Canva. That is required, or the kind of resume you are having, which is no photo at all, but all the important details. And sometimes I've also listened that resume should be of single page. Otherwise, recruiter is not going to pay much attention to your resume, and they're just going to ये तो बर्बाद है. What is your approach for resume? Yeah.
Yeah, great points, Saurav. So to answer the last question first, I have also heard a lot about like making a one-page resume. So initially, like usually people like highly recommend that you have a one-page resume, especially if you're a fresher. After you have maybe 5 years of experience, they are okay with 2 to 3 pages of resume. But my first resume, it was one page, but then there were also a few companies where I sent out a two-page resume and no one died for it. So I would suggest that it's not entirely as tabooed as it sounds. You can have a two-page resume as long as you think that whatever you are content you're adding, that adds value to you as a person, to you and your skills. So in that case, I think it's but again, as a fresher, I would suggest do not go over 1 to 2 pages. It's not something that's like headfast rule, but like you have to be empathetic with the people who are screening so many resumes, right? So feel free to make it like limited to maybe 2 pages at most. But if you can make a one-page resume, then like awesome. And again, like websites like Overleaf, they have very good templates where you can add in a lot of information in a very in a very optimized space manner. And think about that. And also, I think another, what was the other point that you brought up, Sarab? I think I forgot about
That
that.
was what exactly are the points? See, they these
Hmm.
are all freshers, right?
Right,
Even
right.
they will struggle to make a one-page resume. I know.
Hmm.
Okay, exactly. So they see company don't expect you to write your school's name. They will not visit your principal, right? So they don't want to know your school's name. They don't want to know your how much uh, which kind of prizes you won in your third standard. They are not interested. They are interested to know which kind of person you are today. So what exactly the point should as a fresher be mentioning in its resume, who has not done any internship, who has not having any experience, just having some coding experience or having some core knowledge experience and this kind of stuff. Yeah, what exactly they
Right.
should be mentioning. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, great question. So I would suggest include whatever skills that you have that you feel is relevant to the role. There is something called transferable skills. Okay, feel free to research that. I'll put it here. So as a fresher, if you are not having any kind of experience, that's totally okay. But just to, if you are applying for a role, for maybe like if you are applying for an SDE role and you do not have any kind of like web development experience as such, then I think, I mean, I should recommend that, at a point where you are applying and you have a resume, you should have some very basic working knowledge of whatever role that you are applying for. So if it's for like SD, then you can go for web development, or if you have some like backend experience, then it doesn't have to be a like a high class internship, or it doesn't have to be a very very big project or something. But if it's just a very basic project that has the skills that you have utilized, I would suggest that's the best time to make your resume and then apply. So it doesn't have to be rocket science. It can be something very basic. And as for like what content to include, it's your previous work experience if you have any. If it's relevant to the role that you're applying for, amazing. If it's not, then it's better to add something that's not relevant, even if even if it just to fill up the space, because something is better than nothing, right? So if you have some skills with freelancing or just like anything at all, so I would suggest just include that, because that's what I did for my first internship. I didn't have any previous experience before that, but since I applied for my first internship, I included my content writing experience, knowing very well that that wasn't like at all relevant. But at least what got me through with that is that I had good communication skills, because I had been like managing plans for almost a year or so. So again, like rather than leaving that space empty, I would suggest put in something. And as a fresher, a very important thing to include on your resume is obviously your like top projects that you have made so far. That should be more than enough to get your resume shortlisted. And of course, this is like a follow-up thing to just don't wait for the company to respond after you have sent in the resume. Be proactive, connect with their recruiters, connect with people from the company who you think might give you a legs up. So yeah, that is another way to gain visibility.
Yeah, that is something very, very important. That you should not be waiting. You should not be thinking that I have uploaded my resume, they will connect me, I will get job. This is not going to happen. You always need to follow up that how far the process has developed and what exactly you are looking for and how can I fit in the process, right? So there are multiple. It was also a question, right? Okay, I'll tell you. It was see there are multiple job portals or where you can apply. So at your level, you can apply at LinkedIn, Indeed, at Monster, at Naukri.com. Also, they offer some good internships. These are job portals, but they also accept interns too. Okay, so okay, let's go to next question. That is the Nikhil Burnwal. To get a job, communication skill is too vital. Agreed. But my communication skills is not good, and so how to improve my communication skills to attract interviewer? Yeah, a very
Hmm.
good question.
Great question. Yeah. So I would suggest how I improve my communication skills is watching lots of Netflix series and then just like reading and stuff. So if you're talking about communication skills in English, I would suggest get started with that. Learn like practice to, I mean, uh, a good way to learn English is, I think, through applied learning, because we are kind of in a place where we do not enjoy just reading grammar or just like learning rules and all that stuff. So a good way to do that is like talking to yourself in the mirror. I do that all the time, even now, okay? Because I am like naturally I'm a kind of a shy person, so I do not like speaking up at like talking at public events such as these. This used to be my worst nightmare. But what helped me is just keeping at it. Sometimes I sucked, sometimes it like wasn't up to the mark that I would expect it to be. Sometimes mishaps happen. Like today, I just started coughing and didn't stop. So yeah, I mean, just don't like deter yourself from learning just because it's. I can understand it feels very weird if you think that you know all the stuff but you're not able to communicate. So it just feels so unfair, right? But it's not communication skills. It's not that difficult as long as you're conversing with people. So try talking to your friends in English. Okay, and if you have a good online community that you think that you can practice your communication skills with, that's amazing. And if you need any help with that, you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. I can also help you with whatever I can. And yeah, I mean, communication skills, it's all about practice. Just practice pitching, just practice talking to people you do not know, although it might sound like a nightmare. It did to me at least, but now I almost embrace it. So it's almost a journey. Yeah.
Yeah. See, talking about communication, and you're thinking that you're not good at communication, then obviously Pep Talks Club can help you with that. So
Right.
I'm not telling that I will make you a best communicator. Even I'm not the very best communicator. Anyways, we will help each other. But the points D raised, that talking to yourself with mirror on for mirror, it's a great way to develop communication. Uh, okay, yeah, he's telling thank you. Yeah. Anyways, so these are the points you must be. If you want, see, we are making this session live on YouTube, right? If you want clarification on any point, again, you can always go to YouTube channel. You always go to YouTube and see that what exactly they said. And सुदीप, तुम इसको ये कर रहे हो ना, मतलब YouTube पे इसका चैट बॉक्स दिख रहा है ना? हेलो?
Yes.
Okay, fine. That's totally fine.
Thank you,
Okay,
Shruti.
yeah. Okay, so now let's go to next question. That is again from Srijita Mandal. It's a very good question. That is, how do I show my development achievements in resume, like 4-star or 5-star competitive programmer?
Ah, nice. So you want
Yeah.
to show your metric, right? Yeah, that's a very good question. Very smart, Shrijita. So I would recommend what I did. I was, as I said, I have been going to hackathons for such a long time now. So I did that. So hackathons are something that almost all recruiters look out for, which I didn't know when I was starting out with hackathons. So it's a very in-demand thing that recruiters usually go for, because that just shows that you are actually serious about it, you're competitive about it, because hackathons are also a good place to compete, right? So I would suggest go for hackathons. There are like plenty of free hackathons happening all the time online. I'll also write this down. Major League Hacking, it's a global community of like hackathons. It's also the largest community, like student community of hackathons. It's an amazing space that actually helped me learn, and I would recommend go for a couple of hackathons. You don't even have to win. I mean, of course, you do not have to win. Just participating and just putting that on your resume, that's a very big thumbs up for any kind of recruiter. They always look for that. Hackathon experience is amazing, and you'll also get to meet a lot of amazing people and just have a great experience. And of course, not to say, you are also going to get a lot of free swags. So that is also a good motivation for many. I know. It was for me as well. So that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe the question is answered, and happy to. Okay, got it. So any more questions from any of our participants? Any more questions? If yes, then
I have a
and
one.
yeah.
Oh, thank you for unmuting.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
Go ahead. Uditi.
Prakriti,
Okay.
go ahead.
Good evening, দি।
Good evening,
আমি
Uditi.
বেঙ্গলিতেই বলছি।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ নিশ্চয়ই বল।
আমার কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে, আমি ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং করছি, আমার এটা সেকেন্ড ইয়ার চলছে। তো আমি যদি সফটওয়্যার জবের জন্য যেতে চাই, আমার কোন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ থেকে শেখাটা, মানে স্টার্টিংটা কোন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ থেকে করা উচিত, এবং কোন কোন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ শিখলে আমার একজন ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড থেকে জব পাওয়া যেতে পারে?
আচ্ছা, প্রসেসটা হচ্ছে তোর যেটা নর্মাল আমাদের ব্রাঞ্চ থেকে সেটা করছি, তোকেও সেটাই করতে হবে, মানে নাথিং ডিফারেন্ট। তো স্টার্ট করার জন্য সি সি প্লাস প্লাস যে কোনো একটা দিয়ে স্টার্ট কর। সি তো হয়তো তোদের আই থিঙ্ক কোন একটা সেমিস্টারে থাকে না, আমাদেরও ছিল,
ইয়েস,
ভুলে গেছি,
সিটা দিদি
যাই
আমার
হোক।
পরে আছে।
হ্যাঁ, তো কোন একটা সেমিস্টারে থাকে, তো ওইটাতে তোর হেল্প করবে তোকে সি প্লাস প্লাস শিখতে, মানে ইটস অলমোস্ট সেম, সি আর সি প্লাস প্লাস সেম। আর ওইটা হচ্ছে তোর, যদি তুই মানে ডিএস এর জন্য যে কোনো একটা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে ভালো করে কর, তারপরে হ্যাঁ, তারপরে যদি ডেভেলপমেন্ট শিখতে চাস তো ওইটাই সেম আর কি, এইচটিএমএল সিএসএস জাভাস্ক্রিপ্ট যেটা আগে বললাম। মানে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা কোনো ম্যাটার করবে না, যে ইলেকট্রিক্যাল হোক কি কম্পিউটার হোক, তুই মানে শিখতে সেম জিনিসটাই হবে, কারণ জবে গিয়ে তো সেম জিনিসটা সবাইকে করতে হবে না, ওখানে তো স্ট্রিমটা কোনো ব্যাপার না।
ওকে,
Exactly.
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
নো প্রবলেম।
Yeah. So anyone else would like to? I appreciate Brother T talking, unmuting his mic. She was first. So
রাইট।
হ্যালো
yeah.
দি।
So anyone? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, go
Aniket,
ahead.
yeah.
আমার একটা জাস্ট বর্তমানে প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, সেটা একটু শেয়ার করছি, একটু যদি কিছু উপায় বলতে পারো।
হ্যাঁ
তো
হ্যাঁ,
আমি আমি সিভিলে ছিলাম ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে, তো তারপরে আমি ব্রাঞ্চ চেঞ্জ করে আসি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সে। তো তখন তো জানতাম না প্রোগ্রামিং সেরকম কিছুই। তো তারপর এই সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে উঠেই আমি সিটা শিখেছি, এবং ডিএসএ যেহেতু আছে, সুতরাং সিতেই ডিএসএ করার চেষ্টা করেছি। কিন্তু ডিএসএ তো সব বিষয়গুলো সিতে হয় না,
না।
মানে অনেক বেশি কোড লিখতে হয়।
হুম।
তো সেই জন্য আমি ভেবেছিলাম পাইথন করব। তো আমি পাইথনটা শিখেও ফেলেছি, কিন্তু
আচ্ছা।
প্রবলেম হচ্ছে এটাই যে আমি অর্ধেক, মানে ধরো লিঙ্ক লিস্ট বা ছোটখাটো যেসব গুলো আছে, যেমন ট্রি এর কিছু ছোটখাটো জিনিস, সেগুলো আমি সি তে করেছি
হুম
প্র্যাকটিস।
হুম।
কিন্তু আবার সেটা আবার পাইথনে করব না সেটা আবার, কিংবা সি প্লাস প্লাস শিখবো, সেটাই আর কি জানতে চাইছি না, পাইথনের ডিএসসি টা প্র্যাকটিস করব।
আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ, ভালো কোয়েশ্চেন। তো এবার দেখ, সি সি মানে সি আর সি প্লাস প্লাস তো অনেক অলমোস্ট সেম। তো বাট হ্যাঁ, যেটা তুই বললি ওটা খুব ভ্যালিড পয়েন্ট। তো কম্পিটিটিভ প্রোগ্রামিং স্পেশালি করতে গেলে মানে ওখানে তো টাইমটা খুবই ম্যাটার করে। তো সি তে মানে সি ইটস নট সাউন্ড এনাফ টু সাপোর্ট অল ডেটা স্ট্রাকচার্স, তো ওটার জন্য সি প্লাস প্লাস শিখতে পারিস। বাট তুই যদি পাইথন স্টার্ট করেছিস, দ্যাট ইজ অলসো লাইক মোর দ্যান গুড টু গো। ওখানেও লাইক অলমোস্ট অল ডেটা স্ট্রাকচার অ্যালগরিদমের অলমোস্ট কি সবেরই সাপোর্ট আছে। আর ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে পাইথনে কিছু কিছু জিনিস হয় যেটা তুই এক লাইনে করবি, তোকে সি প্লাস প্লাস এ লজিক লাগাতে হবে, ওটা করতেও হবে না আর কি। পাইথনে আমি একটাই প্রবলেম কি, তোর ওটাই আর কি, এক্সিকিউশন টাইমটা একটু বেশি, মানে একটু টাইমটা বেশি লাগে। তো কম্পিটিটিভ প্রোগ্রামিং এ যদি তুই পার্টিসিপেট করছিস, তো ওখানে তুই যদি সি প্লাস প্লাস এ কোনো একটা প্রোগ্রাম করিস, তো ওটা কম টাইম লাগবে, মানে জাস্ট টু রান। ওখানে তো টাইমটাও দেখে না, ওখানে তো কিছু কিছু টেস্ট কেস থাকে, ওগুলো তোর হচ্ছে পাস করে না। বাট যদি স্টার্ট করেছিস পাইথন, আই উইড হাইলি রেকমেন্ড যে ওটাই আর কি, ইউ ক্যান কন্টিনিউ উইথ দ্যাট। বাট তারপর যদি তোর টাইমের পর যদি মনে হচ্ছে যে ওটা তোর স্যুট করছে না, তখন তুই সি প্লাস প্লাস স্টার্ট করতে পারিস। বাট আই ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক দ্যাট শুড হ্যাপেন, মানে পাইথন শুড বি লাইক গুড টু গো।
আচ্ছা দিদি, ধরো আমি তো সি তে লিংক লিস্টটা করেছি, তো এবার কি পাইথনেও সেগুলো করব যেগুলো আমি সি তে করেছিলাম? মানে প্র্যাকটিসের কথা বলছি আমি, এমনি স্টাডির কথা বলছি না।
হ্যাঁ, মানে প্র্যাকটিস ধর, যদি তুই যেই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে স্টার্ট করেছিস, আই উইড সাজেস্ট ওটাতেই আর কি মানে কন্টিনিউ কর। বাট অফকোর্স মানে ইফ ইউ ফিল আর সাম পয়েন্ট যে পাইথন ওয়ার্ক করছে না, তখন তুই সি প্লাস প্লাস করতে পারিস। এটা তোর জন্য খুব একটা টাফ হবে না, কারণ তুই অলরেডি সি জানিস।
ওকে দিদি, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
নো প্রবলেম, নো প্রবলেম।
Yeah, Gaurav Oja is actually commenting that a lot of competitions for hiring don't support Python for DSA.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What do you want to say?
Yeah, no, I honestly, since I don't have a lot of background in Python, I won't be able to comment on that. But yeah, of course, I mean, if you are doing C++, that's awesome. But I don't know, like I haven't seen a lot of, in my personal journey, I haven't given a lot of hiring tests that didn't support Python, because it's usually on platforms like Metal and HackerRank. But of course, I mean, definitely take that into account as well.
Yeah,
Didi, I have a
next.
question.
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah. Arpan, go
Didi,
ahead.
I just want to know, means I have completed my diploma in electrical engineering, and after giving Gillette, I have shifted my trade to CS. So I have taken admission in computer science engineering this year, lateral entry through lateral entry.
Right.
So the problem which I'm facing right now is, means some of my friends and some of the senior brothers and sisters, they're all telling me that you'll be having some problem regarding making the resume, that you have completed your electrical engineering, means your diploma in a different trade, and you are pursuing your BTech degree from CSE. So Didi, what do you think? Means will this impact on the resume, and means while getting the job or getting placed, anything like that?
I don't think that should be an issue, to be honest. Whatever we discussed previously, right? So the streams or whatever past experience you have, whatever educational background you have, that shouldn't be an issue as long as you have the skills, because that's what they literally care about. So I don't think that should be a problem. But there are some companies, I won't say that it's like totally a black and white thing. So there are some companies that do make it a requirement that they will only hire from computer or like computer related branches. So it doesn't have to be even engineering, it can be like BCA and stuff. But I would say shouldn't be an issue. But just in case, make sure that you are going through the job requirements very well. But even if you see that a company that is hiring, that it's not hiring from your branch or like your background, that's loss is theirs. Okay, just don't feel demotivated after that. There are plenty of very good companies offering very competitive packages that are like waiting to hire you, so don't limit yourself to that. So
No, no, I
Did
think that I think that won't matter to fit his profile too, because diploma is a 12th level degree, right? And he is doing his bachelor's in computer science. What is the problem with the company? Yeah, Arpan, you can go ahead.
Yeah, that was means I was saying that only means I am pursuing my BTech from in CAC. So what we said about that's why that thing only was triggering in my mind that as I've done my diploma from other TED, so some of the friends and seniors were telling about it. So thank you, Didi, for clarifying the issue.
no problem. No.
Yeah,
হ্যালো।
that's it. Hi, go ahead, go
Hi
ahead.
Adarsh.
Others go
Hi.
ahead.
হ্যাঁ দাদা, আমি বাংলায় বলছি।
Hi Hamish.
আমি ইউটিউব
আমি উত্তর দেবো না, দিদি উত্তর দেবে।
আমি
Yeah, go ahead.
ইউটিউবে অনেক জায়গায় দেখলাম, সেখানে বলছে জাভা সব থেকে ভালো, যেটা তোমার জব পেতে পারো ওটা ভালো করলে। C++, কেউ বলছে C++টা করলে তারপরে মানে ভালো জব পাবে। কেউ বলছে প্রোডাক্ট বেসড কোম্পানি যেরকম গুগল, মাইক্রোসফট আছে, এরা পাইথন নিলে হবে। তাহলে আমি কোনটার দিকে করব, মানে কোনটা সব থেকে ভালো করে করব, সেটা যদি বলতো।
খুব ভালো কোয়েশ্চেন, বাট আমি তো দেখ, আমি ওটাই বলবো যে আমি তো এক্সপার্ট নই না, তো আমি এটা এইভাবে বলতে পারবো না। বাট আমি নিজের এক্সপিরিয়েন্সের থ্রু যেটা দেখেছি, আমি এতক্ষণ সেটাই বললাম। তো দেখ, মানে এরকম কিছু নেই, তো আলাদা আলাদা কোম্পানি আলাদা আলাদা টেক স্ট্যাক ইউজ করে। তো এবার ডিপেন্ড করছে কে কোনটার জন্য হায়ার করছে। তো এবার কারো যদি ধর জাভা বেস, তাহলে তো সে এবার স্প্রিং এর জন্য যদি করছে, তো এবার সেটা ডিপেন্ড করছে না। তো এবার তোরটা ধর, মানে আমি তো অনেক জায়গায় দেখেছি তোর ভালো কোম্পানি যায়, তো আমার যেরকম আমি যেখানে অ্যাপ্লাই করেছিলাম, দে হ্যাড দ্য টেক স্ট্যাক ফর লাইক মার্ন। তো এবার মার্নটাতে তো এবার ভালো থাকে। তো এবার মানে আই এম নট শিওর যে এবার যদি তুই কম্পিটিটিভ প্রোগ্রামিং এর পার্সোনালি কথা বলছিস, তো তার জন্য তো তোর C++ হোক, পাইথন হোক, যেটা হোক, you can stick to any of those languages. But apart from that, I don't think it should be a problem as to which language you are studying. It should be all right as long as you have very sound knowledge in at least one language. আর
Yeah.
কোন কোম্পানির জন্য কোনটা হায়ার করছে সেটা তো তোর ওদের জব রিকোয়ারমেন্টসে লেখা থাকবে যে মানে we are looking for skills in so and so. So if they're looking for skills in C++, it will be written there. Or if they're looking for development skills, it will be written there. So it will be, there is nothing like industry trend, market trend, এগুলো সম্বন্ধে তো মানে like you can always Google and do stuff. But apart from that, I would recommend যে ওই শুধু কোনটাতে কি হায়ার করছে ওটার জন্য না, see what sticks to you and like stick to that. Yeah.
থ্যাংক ইউ দিদি।
Problem.
Yeah, any more questions? You can always unmute yourself and ask. Okay, fine. I believe there are not more, and it's high time that we should be. I don't want to, but we have to end this session. And anyways, you can connect with the any given time. I'll just request Sudeep to just copy the link of LinkedIn profile of the and just paste it in the description of this. I will, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, Sudeep, just do that. And
Thank you, Shruti.
finally,
Yeah.
yeah, I would highly, we from Pep Talks will be highly means thankful to Dee that she gave his time to us, and it was the fifth meeting of her today, and really, I really appreciate her efforts that she was with us. And next, last but not least, I would just uh, give her greetings for her brilliant future, and looking forward to do some more sessions with her If I will be there, then that is all fine. uh, I believe that more sessions will be coming from these ends too, from with regard to Pep Talks Club and other stuff. Yeah, Bratati Bera is also giving you some thanks. Yeah, so
Thank you,
that's
Pratati.
absolutely
Thank
fine.
you,
Yeah,
Siobhan. Yeah.
yeah, I would request all of you to go ahead
Thank you.
and watch out these LinkedIn profile at least, and you can always connect to her. She's super helpful, super responsive, and you will just uh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think we have a final question from Nikhil.
yeah,
Nikhil, no, I didn't get a job from like any of my job offers. They're not from any on-campus thing. So that's what you're referring to. And like both my jobs, they have like different journeys. One is for a support engineer for Microsoft. Another is for growth in charge for ACF. But if you want to know more about that, how I got the job, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Nikhil. Yeah.
yeah.
It wasn't through
So
college. Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's never going to be through college. Okay, so sorry.
Hopefully things will get better like down the line.
Yeah,
It's
definitely,
fine. I mean, we are
definitely.
a new college, so it's all
Yeah,
right.
we cannot blame our college.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
not acceptable. We cannot compare it to other colleges who are very old also, right? So
Right.
that's not acceptable. We are growing college, and but I would like to highlight one thing. See, you need not be a very pro person, or you need not be कि मतलब मेरे को शक्तिमान वाला दिमाग है, ऐसा नहीं है. दी ने अपना कोडिंग जर्नी स्टार्ट किया था 2020 दिसंबर में. ऑलमोस्ट आप एक साल मान के चलो, आज से एक साल पहले, राइट? आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. उसमें भी 2-3 महीने का
Right.
गैप हो गया था कोडिंग में, डिफरेंट स्टफ्स, बहुत सारे बम्पर्स आएंगे लाइफ में, ये तो कॉमन है, ठीक है. But see, you have to be consistent about that, what exactly you want to do. I am not मेरे को जो I am not the best person to say that, but I have got some inferences from this session, and I'm just delivering you that in 1-2 minutes, right? So you have to be very connective. And one more thing, uh, two things. Do your connections do always matter? Who you are connected with, who are your peer group, and who you are supporting, who support you, that is very important. And secondly, your communication skills play a major role in getting selected for a job. Okay, getting job is not only about that I know coding, I'll do it for you. That's absolutely fine, and that's totally required, that's minimum. But you have to you have to be having that caliber that I can deliver what I know, and what my ideas are, so that company can get benefited, or anyone can get benefited. So that is very means super important skill that you must be having. And to end with, I would like to say that thank you very much, Di, again, for being with us. We are looking forward to see more sessions from your end and our end too, from with regard to Pep Talks Club. And have a great life. We I don't know we'll be able to meet in college or not. Hopefully we will.
Yeah,
And
hopefully. Yeah.
yeah, hopefully, that's a hope. uh, in case Corona doesn't come up with new variants. Okay,
Right.
so yeah,
Corona is
so
also adjusting to the industry trends. So yeah.
yeah. Actually, most of the jobs I've got remote internships. I've been doing some management stuffs, and they're all work from home. That's not an issue, and the payment is all the same. They're not going to cut your salary for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remote role
that is the
payments,
best
they are
part.
like, yeah,
That's the
exactly.
best part.
I
That is the
agree.
best
You
part.
can even,
Yeah,
take workations. Remote role, it's a new thing. So you can just go to the mountains and
yeah.
work as long as
They
you
are
have
even
Wi-Fi.
yeah they are
Yeah,
even giving you HRAs, home rent allowance, and every single thing you can imagine.
right.
I have seen one job role, they are giving you travel allowance also. I don't know why. Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
so these things are there, and you need to be present. You need to be proactive so as to understand that what exactly industry wants and how you can fit in. You have to fit in.
Right.
Yeah, we always wanted to be a cricketer, we always wanted to be a dancer, actor, but we are not in that situation, right? So we need to fit in up to some extent. That is hard truth. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so everybody is thanking you, and
And
again,
yeah,
thanks.
thank
Yeah,
you. Seriously, thank you so much, Saurav, for you are an amazing host, and thank you so much for joining on a
yeah, thank
Monday
you.
evening. It's a lot, I understand, because like Mondays are the worst, right? But thank you so much for giving our time. It was a real pleasure interacting with all of you, and yeah, it's been a really nice time. And sorry about all the hiccups in between, like literally hiccups. But apart from that, yeah, it was a really nice talk, and I would obviously like congratulate congratulate and wish Pep Talks all the best. You all are doing some really amazing job, and like same with Creative Pens right now. So thank you so much
Yeah.
for inviting me, and hopefully our college. I'll be very soon. I'll be listening to your talk, and you will be able to invite me as well. I'm very positive that all of you will. So yeah, looking
Definitely.
forward to that.
Looking forward to see some more gems like you from our college too, so that we can tell our parents too that yes, हम नए कॉलेज से हैं लेकिन कुछ बात है ना. So thank you very much, and that's the end of the session. And I believe all of you enjoyed a lot. You can show your love on the comment section of our YouTube channel. And if you are watching this on YouTube, salute to you. And yeah, you have shown great patience. And thank you very much for joining in this session. Yeah, Sudeep, you can stop now, and let me give the last speech. So that's the end of the session. Thank you very much, and thanks a lot. Have a good night. Good night, and looking forward to see all of you guys with ending up with great placements. Thank you very much. Have a
Right.
great day.
And
You
I
can stop
really
here.
hope that you end up enjoying what you do, because that's more important than the package,
Yeah,
because money will keep following you. But yeah, I mean, just enjoy what you do and make sure you keep that into mind when you are, choosing between job offers. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. One last advice: don't choose super active jobs. It will kill you.
Oh God,
It
yes.
will kill you. Okay, and do not choose night shift jobs also. It is killing me now. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thanks a